Have you ever wondered what separates billionaires from ordinary people? It's not just genius, no inheritance or luck. There is a factor often ignored as silent but devastatingly powerful habit, capable of turning a simple mortal into one of the most influential men on the planet. Elon Musk, for example, did not arrive where he is by chance. His success is a visible tip of an iceberg made of sacrifice, unshakable purpose, and a work ethics that borders on strategic obsession. While many are content with the least, Musk lives at the extreme of intensity, plunged into an absurd productivity routine. He not only works, he breathes work. And the most impressive? All of this is supported by a single habit that you can start cultivating today. A habit that does not require genius, but discipline and resilience. In this video, you will find out what this habit is and how to apply it on your own journey. You will understand why Musk prefers to sleep on the factory floor to delegate his vision, and as he does in 4 months what many would take years to do. Get ready to dive into a billionaire's mind and get out of there with practical tools to build your own personal revolution. So already leave the like, subscribe to the channel, and activates the bell, because what you will learn here can be the point of turning your life needed. Do not underestimate the power of an idea applied with intensity. The question is, are you ready to find out what really moves Elon Musk and using it to your advantage? Elon Musk is not just the richest man in the world. He is a force that shapes the future. Previously seen as just another eccentric Silicon Valley billionaire, today Musk is an influential figure even in global political debates. His role as Donald Trump's informal counselor and other leaders is no coincidence. It is a direct consequence of his bold vision and the intensity with which he pursues it. He built not only companies, but influence, and all this anchored by a work ethic that challenges limits. This meteoric rise is not summed up intelligence or charisma. Musk cultivates habits that border on strategic obsession. It works with absurd resilience, turning each challenge into fuel. While others complain about Monday, he sees a new chance to innovate. His productivity is almost aggressive, as if there were constant urgency. There is no room for comfort zone, just space for purpose. It is important to understand that this kind of success is not born overnight. Musk faced bankruptcy, criticism, very high personal risks, and yet did not retreat. The difference? He has an unshakable conviction in what he is building. It does not follow trends. It creates its own way, and that requires sacrifice time, energy, mental health. But whoever looks out often only sees the billions, not the price that was paid by them. His entry into the political field shows how powerful leadership can be powerful. He does not speak from afar, he acts, donates, invests, and positions himself. This active posture inspires, but also scares. After all, it is not every day that a CEO becomes a central piece in decisions on freedom of expression, military technology, and artificial intelligence. Musk became a symbol of a new type of leadership: intense, practical, and ideologically restless. And here's a provocation. How far are you willing to go for your purpose? Musk doesn't just want to build cars or rockets. He wants to change civilization. And this strategic obsession, which for many seems to exaggerate, may be what is missing to get your ideas out of paper. But for that, first, you need to understand how your work philosophy works. Working 100 hours a week is not a medical recommendation. It is the routine of Elon Musk. While most seek balance, he chose intensity. Your logic is simple and brutal. If you work twice the others, you will achieve twice the results in half the time. This is not just productivity. It is strategic obsession. He believes that in such a competitive world, he only wins who is willing to go beyond the reasonable. This philosophy scares, but also teaches. Musk does not romanticize the effort. He turns him into a weapon. When he defends exhaustive journeys, he is not saying that everyone should sacrifice himself without a criterion. It is saying that if its purpose is big enough, the sacrifice becomes an investment. The focus becomes automatic. He is so aligned with his mission that his work ethics seem superhuman. But deep down, it's just clarity of priority. Musk often says that the difference between success and failure is at the level of intensity you apply to your actions. And this goes for any area of studies, business, creative projects. Most for too early. He continues when the others give up. This is where resilience enters. It can handle more pain, more pressure, more uncertainty. Not because it likes it, but because it understands that the result justifies the price. If you want to apply some of this philosophy in your life, start with 30-day sprints. Choose a specific goal and dedicate yourself with unusual intensity during this period. Eliminate distractions. Cut the superfluous. Prioritize what really matters. You will be surprised at how much you can produce when you work with real purpose. What's more, you'll find out what really moves you. The point here is not to become a machine. It is understanding that mediocrity also tires only it does not bring reward. Musk works as if his life depended on it because, in a way, it really depends. And you? What would change if you decided to treat your dreams with the same seriousness? Philosophy without action is just beautiful conversation. And Musk proves his work ethics in practice with sweat, dark circles, and insane decisions. During Tesla's famous Inferno production in 2018, while many CEOs spoke of luxurious rooms, he was sleeping on the factory floor. Literally, no comfort, no glamour. Only he, the machinery, and a strategic obsession deliver the Model 3 cost what it costs. This is leadership, for example, in a growth state. It was not the first time he put everything at stake. In 2008, both Tesla and SpaceX were on the edge of collapse. And what Musk did, he invested his personal fortune to save both. No running away from the risk. He plunged into him. He worked more than 100 hours a week, ignoring advice, criticism, and even common sense. But it left the other side with 2 living companies. It was resilience at the limit. This intensity inspires, but also bothers you. Many ask, is it worth sacrificing so much? Musk has no doubt. For him, every sleepless night, every risky decision, every 120-hour journey was worth the impact that his companies are causing on the world. Tesla accelerated the transition to clean energy. SpaceX revolutionized the space industry. All of this started with a man and his habit of not giving up. And there's an important detail: Musk doesn't demand from anyone what he doesn't do himself. This creates a rare type of respect, even among critics. He leads for the action, not for the speech. It is behind the scenes at technical meetings in the risky releases. When a mission fails, it assumes. When it works, share. This level of responsibility transforms culture and attracts purpose-aligned talents. If you want to stand out in what you do, start being the first to arrive and the last to leave. Not out of vanity, but by commitment. Show and not just talk that you are willing to do whatever it takes. People follow who inspires, not who rules. And Musk understood that early. But there is still something more powerful behind this insane routine, the reason that moves it. Have you ever wondered how someone can run gigantic companies and still keep the absolute focus? Musk does this by dividing his day into 5-minute blocks. Does it seem crazy? It may seem, but this surgical technique avoids procrastination and maximizes productivity. It's as if every minute has gold value, because it really has. For those who want to grow, this organization is not optional. It is essential. His routine starts early at 7 a.m. with intermittent fasting. That's right. Musk not only thinks about the future of humanity, but also about the health of his own body to support all the intensity. He intersperses technical tasks on SpaceX, Tesla meetings, and still finds time for strategic decisions. And the secret is to alternate focus without losing the purpose, which keeps a sharp mind even on the most pulled days. Also, Musk is not against technology, quite the opposite. It uses tools as a notion to organize projects, signal for fast communication, and even artificial intelligence to automate routine tasks. This combination of discipline and innovation creates a virtuous productivity cycle that few can follow. It is a clear example that habit, innovation, and work ethics are side by side. Want a practical tip? Start your week listing the most important tasks and divide the day in blocks to focus on them without interruption. Use a simple app to control time and avoid distractions. You can even be surprised to find that, with focus and intensity, you can do in a few hours which once took all day. Finally, understand that the habit is not just to repeat actions, but to repeat with purpose. Musk works as a plaid. Each movement is designed for the next, always with a greater purpose in mind. And this purpose is the true strength behind all this daily structure. When we talk about Elon Musk, you can't ignore the power of purpose that guides every step of him. More than making money, Musk is moved by the desire to solve challenges that affect all mankind, such as combating climate change, making life multiplanetary, and ensuring the safety of artificial intelligence. This purpose acts as an engine that transforms sacrifice into mission, making sense of even the most exhaustive journeys. Having a clear and greater purpose in you yourself is what makes the difference between someone who works by obligation and who gives themselves body and soul. Musk is not just doing electric cars or rockets. He is trying to change the game of civilization. And this broad view is what sustains his work ethics and the strategic obsession with which it faces every challenge. Without this why, the intensity turns only to wear. Have you ever thought what your purpose is? And if it is big enough, it will give energy until it seems to be collapsing. Resilience, sacrifice, and continuous learning become natural when we are aligned with something greater. And this goes for any area of life, whether professional, personal, or spiritual. Finding your purpose can be the missing step to make a productivity leap. Musk also shows what purpose is not a static goal, but a dynamic process. It reinvents itself, learns, innovates, and adapts its ambitions as the world changes. This flexibility is vital to keeping fire lit and the mind focused. You need to be willing to adjust your plans, but never abandon your purpose. The big balcony here is to use this purpose as a daily fuel, that inner flame that drives you even in the most difficult times. And, of course, this needs to come along with leadership, for example, showing that no one delivers the most if you don't feel that it's part of something really significant. Nothing worthwhile comes at no cost, and Elon Musk knows that. His extreme routine, full of sacrifices, charges a high-priced sleep deprivation, emotional wear, and impact on personal life. It's that famous saying that there is no free lunch. The endless hours of work cost divorces and moments lost with the family, a reality that many people prefer to ignore when it looks only at the brightness of the spotlight. This intense pressure is not for anyone and should not be. The strategic obsession of Musk often borders on insane, and his employees report almost unsustainable workloads. But that's where resilience comes as a key factor. It's not just enduring the pressure. It is learning from it, growing and becoming stronger. Musk does not run away from where. He sees him ahead, always with a greater purpose as a shield. It is important to remember that sacrifice is not synonymous with meaningless suffering. For Musk, every sleepless night, every difficult decision, is part of a larger construction, a mission that is worth it. This mindset helps transform fuel where a way to channel the intensity for palpable results. It is not easy, but it is possible. If you're thinking of following this path, be aware of what is at stake. Balancing intensity and mental health is a constant challenge, and work ethics needs to be accompanied by self-care. Remember, no one is productive on the pilot of tiredness. Intelligent sacrifice makes all the difference. In the end, the price of success is high, but the question that Musk seems to challenge everyone answering is, what is its price? What are you willing to give up to turn your life for real? There is no leadership without controversy, and Elon Musk is living proof of it. After purchasing Twitter, he implemented radical changes that divided opinions. He fired en masse, cut costs, and demanded an almost superhuman dedication of employees. For many, it was relentless, even cruel. For others, it was the price necessary to ensure efficiency and results. This duality shows how intensity can be perceived in different ways. Musk is not afraid of being called hard or adamant. He knows that the work ethics he imposes is demanding and that the sacrifice often generates discomfort, but he believes that to innovate and lead, it takes courage to make difficult decisions. This posture ends up forging a culture where continuous learning and productivity are taken seriously, even if it causes tensions. The fact is that a strategic obsession leaves no room for half ground. Either you are committed to the purpose and willing to work with intensity, or is left behind. This radical view bothers you, but also inspires. Musk challenges traditional leadership patterns, showing that sometimes, to change the world, one must be a little controversial. If you want to apply this in your life, be prepared to face resistance. Leading by example also means facing criticism, but without losing focus on what really matters. The key is to keep the purpose alive, even when the path is turbulent. And of course, remember that all innovation generates discomfort. In the end, the controversies only reinforce that Musk is stirring with old structures. The question that remains is, do you have the courage to act when it means swimming against the current? Not everyone needs to work 100 hours a week to succeed, and Musk knows that. The secret is to apply the 80-20 rule, focus on those 20 of tasks that bring 80 of the results. This strategic obsession helps to cut the unnecessary and raise productivity. Start by identifying what really makes a difference in your day and eliminates the rest. It may seem simple, but it's quite a challenge. Another powerful strategy is the intense work sprints with scheduled recovery breaks. Musk works in short, focused, and dedicated cycles, but also understand that body and mind need resilience to handle the marathon. This is critical to keeping the pace without burning the candle in half. If you have never tried, try to dedicate 30 days to a goal, working with full intensity. In addition, technology is a great ally to automate routine tasks and release time for what really matters. Organization tools, time management apps, and even artificial intelligence can transform your routine. Innovation is not only in rockets and cars, but also in everyday life. Adopting these features increases efficiency and makes room for creativity and continuous learning. Want a practical example? Use Notion or Trello to organize your tasks and projects. Create daily checklists, set priorities, and review your progress weekly. The habit of planning and monitoring your actions with purpose will raise your productivity and make you closer to your goals. Basically, these strategies are simple, but require discipline and intensity to function. What is missing in most people is not technical, but leadership, for example, start applying today with purpose and focus. Elon Musk is self-taught, and that makes all the difference in his trajectory. He learned science of rockets reading technical books, dismantling prototypes, and plunging into the details to understand how things work. This habit of continuous learning is not just for engineers. It is for anyone who really wants to stand out. You can start today by reading works that challenge your knowledge, such as Charles Duhigg's The Power of Habit or Carol Dweck Mindset. The most important thing is not to be content with what you already know. Musk's work ethics includes an incessant search for new learning and the courage to admit that there is always something to improve. This creates a virtuous cycle where innovation arises naturally because knowledge is always renewing itself. The intensity with which he studies is a fundamental part of his productivity and the strategic obsession he keeps on. Want a practical tip? Separate at least 30 minutes a day to study something outside your comfort zone. It could be an article, a technical video, or a podcast. The important thing is to feed the mind and cultivate growth habit. Intellectual resilience comes precisely from this daily effort, which prepares you to deal with unexpected challenges. In addition, Musk likes to learn and practice, dismantling prototypes and testing hypotheses. This shows that learning is not only in books, but in constant application. Creating this cycle between theory and practice is what transforms knowledge into real results. If you want to be inspired, start small projects and learn by doing. Finally, never underestimate the power of continuous learning as a competitive differential. Leadership, for example, in this regard is to show that no one is the owner of the truth, but that the way is a journey of constant evolution. Elon Musk is not just in the speech, he is always on the battlefield with his teams, showing that leading is to be together on the front line. This posture inspires confidence and generates a culture of work where sacrifice and work ethics are not only charged but lived. Leadership, for example, is this not demanding from others what you don't do yourself. When Musk is dedicated to insane journeys, sleeping on the factory floor or discussing technical details in the early hours, he shows that the intensity and purpose are worth it. This motivates your teams to accompany you in search of maximum innovation and productivity. After all, no one respects a boss who only knows how to charge respect is achieved with actions. Want a tip to apply this today? Start by showing commitment to your own goals before charging for others. Be punctual, keep focus, and demonstrate that your work ethics is solid. This attitude generates a domino effect, making your team also work more and with purpose. In addition, leadership by example is linked to continuous learning. Musk is always studying and reinventing herself, which reinforces the idea that no one is infallible. Admitting errors and seeking constant improvement is a powerful way to show humility and strengthen your natural authority. In the end, leading by example is not a management trick, but a philosophy of life that combines intensity, purpose, and resilience. Those who adopt this posture build stronger, focused, and ready teams to face any challenge. Now, let's talk to real no one needs to work 120 hours a week. To succeed, what really matters is being clarity of purpose and a strategic obsession that keeps the focus up there. Emotional resilience and discipline to face sacrifices are what make a difference in the journey, not the absurd amount of hours on the table. Musk shows that it is more about how you work than how much. Imagine what you could earn in 30 days if you worked as if your life depended on it. It doesn't have to be 247, but with intensity, focus, and a purpose that moves you. The secret is to transform a habit into an ally, fuel work ethics, and constant learning innovation. This combination is explosive and accessible to anyone who is willing to take the first step. Remember, success is not a matter of luck, but continuous and intelligent effort. The more you work, the more luck you have. It's not just a staff. It's a truth that Musk embodies every day. And you can also embody applying the strategies we have seen, from the daily structure to the lead by the example. If you have been in doubt or you want to transform your life, start today. Make a clear list of your goals. Set priorities and focus on what really matters. Sacrifice what hinders you and embraces continuous learning. Resilience will carry you in difficult times, and the purpose will illuminate your way. So, are you ready for the challenge? What can you do in the coming weeks to get closer to success like Musk? Think about it and start acting now. And not to lose any content that will transform your mindset and productivity, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and stay on top of everything. Your successful future starts here.